Takes it, scores! To the back of the net,
across the goal and in, and
the follow, and it goes in, and it is to the back of the net.
Hello and a very warm welcome from the home of Bracknell Town for the deciding game in this year's Inter-Services Under-23 Football Championship as the Army take on the Royal Air Force. It has been a fantastic tournament so far. Let's remind ourselves of the previous two results.
But the Army still pressing, still looking for that goal, and it has gone in, and it's taken a deflection. And it's going to be touched home. It is touched home. Buster Reed has got the goal to put the Army 2-1 up. The man who got there first was the captain, Sol Roche, and that was a magnificent move. And it's headed into the net very, very early on, and it's Seb Hobbs who's got the goal. The RAF just finding it a bit difficult to really move their way through, but they are coming forward now, and what a goal! Well, that was a commentary curse then, and what a brilliant goal. And on the end of it is the number 11, and this time it is Jensen Bryan.
So it all comes down to this: clear victory by 2 goals or more, and the Army are champions. But waiting in the wings are the defending champions, the Royal Navy. We'll hear from the Air Force in just a moment, but let's get a thought from the Army now. Well, it all comes down to this: you put yourselves in a great position with that draw against the defending champions, the Royal Navy. Your expectations today then, taking on the Royal Air Force?
Similar performance. All we can do now is make sure we get the best out of this group, and hopefully that takes care of itself.
You know what you have to do. You have to come away with a victory by 2 clear goals, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. So hopefully, like I say, the main plan for us is to try and keep a clean sheet and take the opportunities that we create.
You'll have seen what happened last week. What did you take away from that game between the Air Force and the Navy?
Same as both teams, that they're going to have opportunities. They've got a certain way they want to play, and they've got some dangerous players. So we've got to take care of that.
And how's your young group of players prepared for this fixture, knowing what they have to do going into this game?
I think they're itching to go now. Like I say, they learnt a lot from the Navy game, and they'll take them learning points and hopefully put that into a positive display this afternoon.
And for you yourself, your first foray, if you like, is as a head coach of representative football at this level. You know, what would it mean to you to come away with the win?
Oh, massive. Like I say, I've been very fortunate with my military career to win the Inter-Services a lot of times, but it's different as a coach because it means a lot more to me. I can control what happens to me as a player. What I can't control is what the players are going to do. So this will mean probably a lot bigger kind of achievement for me, achieving the Inter-Services as a head coach rather than as a player.
Danny, it all comes down to this in many ways, but perhaps even more special, this is your last one?
Yeah, I mean, it's my last one and some of my staff's last one, but more importantly, it's not about me, it's about the lads. Obviously, we know that the Army need to win by 2 clear goals to win it, but we're here to hopefully upset the party.
Does that give you the extra hunger then, the ammunition you need? Unfortunately for you, you can't lift the trophy, the overall trophy, but there is still a chance that, as you say, you could cause an upset.
Well, yeah, we hopefully cause the upset, but we're also playing for our trophy as well, the Neil Hope Trophy. That's our trophy. We won it last year and we want to retain it this year as well.
Yeah, that Neil Hope Trophy, it's named after one of your own, so very important then that you get your hands on that.
Yeah, it is. You know, the history behind the trophy, what Neil's done for RAF football and football as a whole, and the charities that he's worked for is unquestionable. So it means a lot to the RAFFA, it means a lot to us, and that's why we want to win it today.
You'll have seen that opening fixture when the Army played the Royal Navy, 2-2 draw there. What are you expecting from your opponents in red today?
Well, we know they've got to come and get the result they need, so we're expecting them at some point in the game come chase the game. We're prepared for that. We've got our own game plan, and hopefully our game plan is clever enough to stop them winning it.
Goodness, that sounds like a bit of a low block for you, and hit them on the counter. Is that where we're going?
Well, we'll have to see what happens in the game.
Danny, thank you very much indeed. Thank you. The players are warmed up, and so too is our match commentator. Let's go and join John Knighton for this afternoon's fixture.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Jules, and a very warm welcome to you to a spring-like afternoon here at the SB Stadium, the home of Bracknell Town Football Club, which is hosting this final match of the Inter-Services Championship this year for the under-23s. And, well, it's a great pleasure to be welcoming here today, joining me in our commentary position, the man who's, well, masterminded, really, the Royal Navy in their competition so far, is Captain Stu Morgan from the Royal Marines. Stu, welcome along, and thanks so much for joining us today in commentary.
Thanks, John. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. It's a glorious day for a bit of inter-service football.
It is indeed, and you can sit back, obviously, and enjoy the spectacle today in a way that you haven't been able to do for the last two matches.
That's right. It's a nice thing to come and see some football. No pressure on me to do any team talks or tactical changes, but hey, it's going to be a great game.
It is. There's so much to play for, of course. The teams are playing for the Neil Hope Trophy today. Neil Hope, a massive contribution that he's made over the years, of course, to Royal Air Force football and beyond as well. But as far as the Inter-Service Under-23 title is concerned, well, a win for the RAF today will hand the trophy to the Royal Navy here, and Stu, I think you're the only representative here, so you may have to be sort of disappearing from the commentary position to go and receive the trophy, which I'm sure you'll be very happy to do. A draw not enough for the Army today for them to claim back the title. They need at least to win by 2 goals here today, but that's not the only sort of way out of this, and I'll run through the permutations very, very shortly. Stu, obviously you're hoping that the permutations are going to work out for the senior service today, but these games have been so tight, haven't they? So close over the last few years.
They certainly have been. I think the standard is exceptionally high. The players have quality on all 3 sides. And I think today will be exactly the same. It's going to be a really tight battle, tough battle between 2 good footballing teams, and let's hope for a 0-0 draw.
Well, let's take a look at the 2 teams, shall we, as we prepare for them coming out on the field. We'll start off with the Army. Head coach Keith Emerson, he makes a couple of changes from the team that drew with the Navy a fortnight ago. Kyle Coolidge drops to the bench. Alfie Watts coming into the position there with Jordan Crone also dropping to the bench. And Jack Lowe starting ahead of Jack Layton today. Crucial for the Army, again, could be their goalkeeper, Charlie Partington, who made 2 amazing, crucial stops to deny the victory 2 weeks ago. And I'm sure you remember that, Stu, because the 2 goal-bound efforts brilliantly saved by the goalkeeper.
He was exceptional on the day in terms of shot stopping and ball distribution. And yeah, I think I was on my knees a few times during that game when we were close to the goal.
Yeah, so Charlie Parkinson may have a really important role to play today. Plenty of selection headaches as well for the RAF and their head coach, Danny Bartley. This is his last game in charge of the under-23 team. His team walking wounded, we could really say, after the game at Uxbridge last week. He delayed the selection of his team until this morning. He makes 3 changes to the starting lineup from last week. Keeper Miles Coley comes into the game to make his under-23 debut. He's got a real goalkeeping issue, unfortunately, at the moment, with several players out through injury and also commitments. Roel Christa, he starts at left back, and Caldevine also starting. There's 3 newcomers on the bench as well for the RAF, so lots of them to play for today, Stu. The permutations: the Army need to score by win by 2 goals at least to get a share. If the match ended 2-1, which of course was the same score that you had last week against the RAF, then the title would be shared. The other permutations are if the Army win by 2-0 or score 3 goals, even if it's 3-2, they would win the title. A 1-0 win for the Army will not be good enough for them today. So they've really got to go out and score the goals, haven't they? You're hoping for a 0-0 draw, I guess.
Yeah, certainly. Let's have a boring game, not much to talk about, and we can go away happy.
Well, you certainly could as well. We're just waiting now, say, for the players to come out onto the pitch. We've got about 5 minutes till kick-off, and we will obviously have the national anthem played beforehand, and VIPs coming out onto the pitch as well. Should be Group Captain John Smith, the head of representative football for the RAF, and also Lieutenant Colonel Tony Frank, who of course is the chairman of the Army Football Association. So as you can see from the pictures, we've got the players, the bench coming out now on to take their positions in the stand here. Lovely little stadium here, SB Stadium. This has been home to Bracknell Town for the last 4 years, I believe, Stu, because they actually moved from Bracknell. We're here in Sandhurst, actually, so we're not actually in Bracknell anymore, but they moved from here 4 years ago, or to here 4 years ago. This was just a patch of waste ground before they came here, and they've transformed it.
It's exceptional. The pitch looks in perfect condition, just like we had the last couple of weeks, and it's a real good setup for what should be a superb game of football.
We're certainly hoping for that. Our Royal Navy officials today as well, who are looking after things. Hugh Marfill, who we got to know really well, obviously, with the UK Armed Forces team out at the Kentish Cup. He was the UCAF representative there when the UCAF team played out and obviously won the Kentish Cup back there in December. So Hugh is the referee today, and his assistants, Joe Moore and Guy Pallett from the Royal Navy Football Association, with Philip Eddy is going to be the fourth official. So senior service officials today, Stu. I'm sure they'll do a great job.
They are always do the best, John, and that's all we can ask for.
So the VIP is just coming out then now to be presented to the two teams. So say Group Captain John Smith, head of representative football for the Royal Air Force. I can also see as well Lieutenant Colonel Tony Frank there. Tony, of course, who is the chair of the Army Football Association, and also their secretary as well today, just being introduced by Graham now, being introduced by the players.
Lieutenant Colonel Tony Frank, and from the Royal Air Force, Group Captain John Smith.
So just working their way then along the line of players, and it's such a proud moment for these players. And you know, Stu, you've been, I think we discussed this after the game last week. You've had such a lot of influence really on some of these young players, but for them to be out here today representing the Army and the RAF, very special for them.
Every time you put on the jersey of your service, it's a special occasion, and today's exactly the same. They'll have butterflies, but they'll be ready to go and go to war.
They will indeed. They'll be putting themselves on the line. They're putting their everything on the line for the team today. And what's your gut feeling about this? Obviously, you've seen both teams at close quarter as the head coach for the Navy. So, you know, what's your gut feeling? I'm always asked for predictions on these matches, which I hate doing, of course.
No pressure on me here. I think there's going to be goals here. I think both teams are really good. I'm going 2-2.
And that, of course, will be exactly what happened a fortnight ago when the two you met the Army. Time now for the national anthem.
Standing for the national anthem.
Well, I must say it's great to see a crowd gathered here obviously on the far side of the pitch, and a few coming to sit in the stands here to watch and enjoy the game here. And you know, Stu, a crowd always makes a difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, it gives something a little bit special to the lads that are on the pitch, you know. You can impress your mum, your dad, your girlfriend, you know, whoever's in the crowd. And a lot of the time you've got your friends from work that come and turn up and watch you play. So it gives you that extra bit of percentage to try and perform well.
Must just mention as well, Tom O'Hanlon from RAF Digby, wearing number 9 today for the Navy. He actually did score the goal against the Navy last week, which was a wrong call from my point of view. So Tom's been getting ribbed all week about that. But it just adds a bit of extra interest, I reckon, to the competition when the commentator gets it wrong occasionally, which I do frequently.
Don't they all? Don't they all?
So just about ready to go then in this Inter-Services Under-23 game, the final match of this campaign. Obviously, you'll be heading like an express train hurtling towards the seniors competition, which will be following very, very shortly. We'll have action from all of those games, of course, for you as well here on our BFBS YouTube channel. But wherever you are today, you're more than welcome. It'd be great to have you along wherever you're watching. I know we had viewers all over the world who were watching last week. In fact, Steve Clout, who joined me for the co-commentary last week, I know that his son, on holiday in South America at the moment, was keenly watching the game from Argentina. So there you go.
Well, that's impressive. I don't think my boy's going to be anywhere apart from Plymouth, so that's not too bad.
Well, hopefully they're watching anyway and listening to your debut as a commentator here on BFBS. Stu, so I think we're just about ready to go. The RAF then are going to be kicking off in their all-blue strip today, and it is Tom O'Hanlon on the ball at the moment. I have apologised to him, by the way, but he says that he's had a name changed by deed poll to Dean. He's been known as Dean by his family. Anyway, there we go. He's on the ball.
He's a real live wire, that kid.
He really is, and it was a great goal that he scored last week.
Certainly was, yeah,
So we'll ready to go. Just waiting for the last moments. Referee just checking his watch. Hugh Marfell, and away we go then. I'm sure that both teams will be anxious to get off to a good start. I mean, the Navy made the perfect start last week with that opening corner, which produced a brilliant headed goal. Set us up. You get an early goal, and suddenly the match takes on a totally different view, doesn't it? And the RAF already pushing forward. It's well cleared there by the Army defence in the end. Army in their all-red strip today. I'm sure that the RAF, obviously they can't win the title, but they've certainly got the Neil Hope Trophy to play for as well. Referee allows play to go on. Be an early touch of the ball then for the RAF keeper, Miles Coley, coming in today, making his debut at this level. I say Danny has had quite a few goalkeeper issues with injuries and unavailability. So I think Miles, he said is like his third choice keeper, but he'll do the RAF proud today. I'm absolutely sure about that. Nice header forward by Krista. And that is a foul.
He started sharp already as the number 9 again from the RAF.
O'Hanlon getting in there, causing a few issues. It'll be Jake Staunton who will take the free kick on the edge of the box here. Referee just moving the players back. I see that he hasn't got one of those spray guns that the Premier League referees have. So Staunton then with a free kick, aiming it high.
What a ball that is.
It's a lovely ball in, and it caused all sorts of issues in the box. But it goes harmlessly out in the end for a goal kick. But some real danger there for the Army. I think bit of a scare for them, Stu, I think, early doors.
It's a great start from the RAF. They clearly want it a little bit more at the moment. I'm surprised with the Army's start, to be honest, to this game.
Certainly the RAF showing all the will at the moment. Here's Sadler, back as far as Alfie Wood, and he'll find his goalkeeper again. Oh, goalkeeper just being caught there. And that was very nearly big trouble with Buster Reed going in. And the Army having to defend, though. Well, mistakes at both ends so far, but eventually the clearance then from Alfie Budd puts the ball into the car park behind us. If you're just joining us live here on Forces News YouTube, the early moments of this game.
Great feet, it's another foul, same area.
Another free kick.
Holding their width really well, the RAF, which is causing some issues for the Army already.
So another free kick then will be coming in for the Air Force, which will be taken by Jake Staunton again. And if it's as good as that first free kick, then it could pose some issues. Just a two-man wall for the Army. Staunton then takes the free kick. It's another really good free kick, and again, they didn't find anyone on the end of it. The man who was charging forward there was Blake Ledger, the captain. And unfortunately for them, but there'd been two identical free kicks.
It's absolutely that. They've got to take their chances, though. You never know how many you're going to get in an inter-service game, so hopefully they make the next one count.
Army then bringing it forward. Here's Budd again on this right-hand side, inside to Alfie Watts, Craftsman Watts. Nice ball forward then. Army again pushing, looking for an opportunity. Ball falls, and it's a flying shot there coming in from Tyler Stevens, and it was really well saved by Coley there. Made a really good save. And he really caught hold of that, didn't he?
Just like he did in the first game. He scored from the edge of the box. Another great strike again today. A little bit of pressure this time from the Army. Held the ball for a little bit, played it around the back, and they've found themselves with a corner now.
So the corner then, the first one of the game for the Army. RAF failing to clear it on the edge of the box. It's Budd once more, or Buster Reed, I should say. Yeah. He'll then go back and finds Reynolds. Reynolds gets the cross in. Again, it goes harmlessly over the bar, but some good pressure from the Army for the first time.
Some good pressure coupled with some frantic defending has led the Army back into the game a little bit here.
Goal kick goes harmlessly out of play. RAF players just getting in each other's way at the moment. It's the Army who'll tidy up the damage. It goes out of play. Air Force free kick. I'm sure Danny Bartley will be quite happy with the start that the Air Force have made here. But it's an Army throw. Budd down the field. Nicely collected. Real opportunity for the Army once again, just putting Coley under pressure.
It's a great header, he's in it. Uses pace on his feet.
Yeah, and here's O'Hanlon again on the edge of the box. Still going. Oof, that was a hefty challenge.
It was, that's a great ball. Ooh.
It was a really meaty challenge there on Tyler Stevens.
Yeah, I think
no holds barred with Tom O'Hanlon. He's holding his knees in a bit of trouble there. And I just wonder, looking at that, whether that was a fair challenge or not.
I think the follow through, he took the ball first. That follow through went straight into his knee there. It's a bit of a nasty one.
So a little bit of treatment then for Tyler Stevens, former Birmingham City youth player. Actually played alongside Jude Bellingham at youth level for the Army. In fact, there's two players actually in this Army team who have had experience of playing with young Jude.
I wonder if Jude's watching in Spain or if he's preparing for the City game, I guess.
And of course, that sending off that he had, he might mean that he's got an extended break while he waits for things to happen. Bit disjointed this game so far, really, with neither side really has started to dominate, but both teams have had chances. The Army probably the best of them so far. That really good effort from Tyler Stevens, which the goalkeeper Coley did extremely well to turn over for a corner. Just one corner to the Army so far, but it remains 0-0.
See both coaches in their technical area barking orders already. It's good to see.
Yep. Yeah, apologies if you pick up any fruity language coming from the dugouts today.
Looks like a little bit of a long throw set piece here.
Yep.
Sending up the big lad from the back.
Yeah, throw goes in, but it'll be cleared by the Air Force in the end. The pressure not relieved just yet. But they do have the throw now. It was some good work there from Raul Christa, making his debut today for the Air Force at this level. Once again, the ball going out of play.
He's had a good start, number 10 for the RAF, old Staunton. He's had a very composed start to the game.
He has. Well, he played very well against the Navy last week. Looked a class act. Yeah, there was a bit of pushing going on there from Staunton. You mention him and suddenly... But it's the Army who have it. It's on that far side of the field. Danger player for them, of course, is Femi Taki.
He's got it again.
He's
won a free kick.
And he has won a free kick. And he caused you all sorts of problems, didn't he?
He's so dangerous. He's sharp, quick feet, got pace. Yeah, it's difficult to defend against.
He really is. And he's won the throw-in on that far side of the field. And going over to take it will be Alfie Budd. Interesting tactics. Looks like it's going to be an in-swinger here to put the goalkeeper under lots of pressure.
I think Keith's been watching my set pieces again.
Interesting set pieces we were watching last week, I must admit. So Budd then with the free kick. Putting the goalkeeper under pressure, and it went through everybody and went out for another corner. So that is the second corner of the match, and that's gone to the Army. And it's going to be Stevens who's gone over to take it. Floats it
Another
in.
great ball. Oh, it's
on
a
the
free
header.
header from the skipper,
Yeah,
Lukey Thompson.
yeah,
It's a chance.
it was a chance. Just didn't quite manage to direct it where he wanted it to go. But as you're right, so rightly say, it was another opportunity there for the Army to make an early mark here. But 0-0 so far in this match.
Starting to pick up the second balls now, the Army, and they're putting a bit of pressure on.
Here's Taki again, harrying the defence. Some claims going in for a penalty. It's a bit of a melee in there at the moment, but it is cleared eventually by the Air Force. And what can they do on the break? This is nice work from O'Hanlon. Spreads the ball wide onto the right-hand side of the field. McCowie wearing number 2, but he's certainly more of a winger, midfielder. Trying to spread the ball again. Nice ball.
Oh, he's put the flag up.
Just offside. Yeah. Thompson eventually feeds Declan Howe.
Broken down again.
It has, and the RAF can bring it clear. Just a bit of composure needed for them. Again, the long ball forward. More in hope than anything else, it ends up in the hands of Charlie Pocklington, former March Town player. Watts does well. Reynolds with the through ball, but it only finds the RAF's Jack Harrison.
He'll be annoyed at that, Keith. Ball retention is really important in these games.
There's Bishop. Back to his skipper, Blake Ledger. Army can bring it forward then again with Alfie Rogers. And here's Bud.
There we go, there's another chance.
Another chance then for the Air Force. That's a really good run down this left-hand side. The cross coming in from Christa. On the end of it is Cal Devine.
Oh, I sold him short there, and they're on the attack again, the Army.
Well, what can the Army do on the break here then? With Declan Howe. Out to the dangerous Taki. Back inside to Howe again. But it breaks down for the Army. Goalkeeper Miles Coley, who's done really well so far. Big Villa fan. He's an aircraft technician based at RAF, Bryce Norton. Delighted to be coming into the team today. And so far, he's acquitted himself very well. Just over a quarter of an hour played in this match. Yeah, it's well dealt with, though, in the end by Luke Thompson. And Watts
Staunton,
loses
good challenge again.
Yeah. There's McCowie on that right-hand side.
He's in the box.
He's in the box.
What a save!
It was a great side by the keeper, and he had to keep his eye on that, did Charlie Pocklington. Otherwise, that could easily have gone in, because on the end of it was Tom O'Hanlon. He's promised me that he'll score today and be credited for it.
Nice and sharp from Alfie Rogers in the middle there from the second ball. Good clearance.
So chances at both ends inside these first 17, 18 minutes. But it remains 0-0 here. Yeah, Taki can't keep it in, so the RAF will have the chance then from the throw-in. Started with some sunshine here. Clouds have come over us. We were told it was going to be mild here today. I don't think so. Maybe it's a bit milder than it was.
Got a couple of layers on, but not too bad.
It's difficult to forget that we're still in February. Not even at the end of the month yet.
That's a good header.
Yeah, did well, did Luke Thompson there. But the RAF still in the ascendancy here on that far side of the field with McCowie. Just a little bit too ambitious there, but I think there was an offside flag, wasn't there?
He's gone straight out for a goal kick.
Straight out for a goal kick in the end. Yeah. So chances at both ends, but it remains 0-0 in this deciding match.
Bit of a mid-block being set by the RAF, letting the Army have the ball at the back.
Just let us know where you're watching. Alfie or Freddie says, come on the Army. And Lynn Holland, exactly the same, come on the Army. Support from UK, United Kingdom GWP, come on the RAF. Thompson, the skipper. Just elects to go right down the middle, just trying to test out the defence from the Air Force, but they're up to it on this occasion. And here's their captain, Blake Ledger, an RAF policeman based up at Cranwell in Lincolnshire. In his first season in the team, only his third match for the under-23 teams with the RAF. Given that captain seat now, a chance on then for Femi Taki. He's in there, he's making the run.
Great defensive
But that was really excellent defensive work there.
Wow.
And that was George McCowie, did a great job to close things off and stop Femi from getting his shot in. But that was just goes to show the pace that he has on that left-hand side.
Yeah, a great recovery run from right back there. Very good.
George Bishop just down on the pitch at the moment, just receiving. He seems to be okay now. So free kick taken by the Air Force in their all light blue colour, of course. Taki again.
Yeah, he's get the foul.
Just a push, wasn't it? I think on Ledger there, just to stop him from going through.
Yeah, they're both under hitting the ball from deeper, which is not helping the cause. But a bit of a more of an overhit ball will probably cause a couple of more problems.
Lynn Holland says, get Jack Layton on that pitch. And Robbo says, couldn't have a better co-commentator there. What a guy, Captain Stu Morgan. There you go, you got your fan club already, Stu.
That's my number 2, Dan Roberts. Been crying for a shout out all day.
Well, he's finally got one. Flattery will get you everywhere on this channel, I promise you. That's a really good ball forward. The cross comes in from Reynolds. And Taki chasing it again. Twisting his way through. He's still going. And it's in. It's a goal. And the Army do have the leads. And it's really well taken by them in the end. But great work from Taki. And I think the man on the end of it in the end was Buster Reed, I think. Or was it? So difficult to see, actually, from our position here. Lots of congratulations going on, especially for Taki for the work that he did there. Because he really chased a lost cause, didn't he, there, Stu, to put the Army ahead.
Certainly did. Quick feet again in the box, and the RAF were found wanting. I think it was your man Stevens again with a goal.
Well, just to check. Taki just charging onto it, literally chasing a lost cause here. And he was in a really good position. And in fact, it was number 10, yep, Tyler Stevens, who got the goal in the end. To score for the Army. They lead by a 1-0 here.
Scoring for the Army in the 23rd minute, Tyler Stevens, number 10.
Well, against the Navy last week, the RAF responded very quickly with an equaliser of their own.
It's not a great ball. That's a
Good
great
headed ball, and chasing it is Krista. It's a deep cross, but on the end of it is McCowie. George McCowie still going, but well challenged by Ethan Reynolds there. Ball goes out for a throw. RAF trying to respond as quickly as they can, but it's collected by Stevens again.
Good defending again, the skipper.
Yeah, they did. They cleared that one up well, because that could have been dangerous. Army very dangerous on the break. Alfie Rogers from the Remy finds his goalkeeper. Just content to play it at the back at the moment are the Army, and just to enjoy the lead that they have here. 1-0.
Yeah, plenty of time in this game for them to attack. Just keep the ball, wear the RAF down, and see when they can go forward.
So much harder, isn't it? You've got to run so much more when you don't have the ball than when you do have it.
Absolutely.
Possession being the name of the game at the moment for the Army. They're just, as you say, they're just keeping it nice and simple. I think that's what impressed me the most, really, about the Navy win last week as well, Stu, was the way you managed the game at the end.
That's it. I told the lads to never get bored of having the football, and you know, the last 30 seconds was tough, but yeah, managed it really well on the pitch. He's got through there. Oh!
A little bit of afters there as well, but yeah, Tom O'Hanlon really putting himself about. Tom, who had a lot of chances last week, he scored one, but I think he had 3 or 4 other chances against the Navy.
Yeah, he certainly did. He's an absolute handful, and I think he might get a call up for the senior team at this rate.
David Holland says, Army looking good, come on lads. And applauding the goal as well, watching on the YouTube this afternoon. Approaching the half hour here, the Army lead 1-0 in this closing match of the Under-23 Championship. Peels for a penalty, waved away in the end by the referee.
Taki's in here again.
Taki here, there and everywhere, isn't he, at the moment? Challenge going in. Here is Taki on the edge of the box.
There's a step over.
He's beaten one man, beats two. Eventually, the RAF half clear it, but it's still with the Army.
Oh, hello.
A nice effort there from Alfie Budd, just chancing his arm there on the edge of the box.
The lights were up.
Yeah, it was all flashing before him, wasn't it?
Oh, that's a great header.
To see that shot again. I think it's fair to say that Miles Coley was pretty safe with that one. Not a lot you could do about the goal that Tyler Stevens scored on 22 minutes to put the Army ahead in this match. At the moment, the title still belongs to the Navy, but here come the RAF. That's a great effort.
Good drive from the midfield.
George Bishop there, taking it from midfield there, the RAF Holton player.
There's still a danger, the RAF. Very much a danger going forward.
It was worth an effort, wasn't it? Definitely worth a go. Thompson. And here's Rogers. Wide onto that left-hand side then to Ethan Reynolds, back to Howe and the goalkeeper. Just playing it out of the back at the moment of the Army. Just playing their sort of game. I'm sure this is what Keith Emerson has said to them. You know, get yourselves in front. They know what they have to do. They've got to win by 2 goals to win back this inter-services title. They're halfway there at the moment.
That's a good touch from low. Powerful drive.
Yeah, it comes in.
Ooh.
RAF, though, bringing it forward themselves. The chase on then from O'Hanlon. Harrying Rogers there. And still O'Hanlon. So much running in him. Yes, I wouldn't be surprised to see him representing the RAF senior team next month when the senior championship gets underway. Opening match, of course, will be at Shrewsbury, where the RAF always play their home games now in the Inter-Services Championship.
It's a great setting for the players to go and play up at Shrewsbury. Beautiful place.
Nice little ground, isn't it? They keep changing the name, though. It's always difficult to remember what it's called. It's usually something Meadow. Yeah, and Shrewsbury not having the best of times at the moment either in the Football League. I wish them well. Army throw then, which Alfie Budd will take. Nicely worked through by the Army. Chase on there for Taki, but Air Force goalkeeper Miles Coley there first. And they will now bring it clear. Opening up this match since the Army scored. Air Force want to win this Neil Hope Trophy today. That's nicely worked by Bishop. Out to Christa. Christa plays it forward to Staunton. And he wins the throw. Just over the half-hour mark here. Army leading 1-0, but the RAF have had their chances and they're still pressing forward, looking for an equaliser. That's a lovely ball forward to O'Hanlon on the edge of the box. Such a handful, as we've already said. But here's the Army, and here's Lowe. Plays it wide to Buster Reed. Whether he can chase it, not. He can't. Goalkeeper gets there first. But so quickly the Army break from defence to attack.
Yeah, they found the pockets in front of the defence to pick up the ball, and that transition's really hurting the RAF.
Ledger.
Looking for this long one every time.
Goes
now.
for a long ball forward, just aiming for McCowie. Eventually finds Devine, Cal Devine. And that will be the RAF's first corner of the game.
Getting some good success by going a bit longer there, the RAF, and picking up the pieces.
So what can they do from this set piece? Dylan Sadler going over to take it, the air specialist one, based up at RAF Lossiemouth.
Army have left 3 up as well. Well, they're going for it.
Corner taken short as far as Staunton.
He's onside.
Gets the cross in.
Oh, corner. He's given a goal kick.
Oh, well, I think Alfie Rogers was quite surprised that that went for a goal kick. I think he was the last person to get his head on it.
I think he certainly was.
But the Army will take that every day of the week. Thompson. Looking for that long ball forward, though. Only finds the head of the Air Force captain. And the Air Force do win a free kick this time. Challenge there on George Bishop. The referee says it was illegal. Blake Ledger then with the free kick. Right on the halfway line.
Keeper will eat that up all day.
Into the hands of Charlie Pocklington. So far he's not been forced to make any clear-cut saves. A couple of chances for the Air Force, but nothing that he hasn't been able to deal with reasonably comfortably so far.
Yeah, it's been quiet for him so far.
But things can change within a whisker. That's what football is like, isn't it? Within seconds, things can change. Army have the lead. Ethan Reynolds with the throw. That's nice work there from Reed. And Stevens again.
Chases on. The speedster.
He just runs everywhere, doesn't he? He's got Tom O'Hanlon.
I was like that once, I think.
Army looking very composed at the moment, though, when they have the ball. And only Great Ho to get that ball.
Oh, there's a bit of a push there. He didn't give it.
Taki is through.
Good.
And
good
eventually
recovery.
it goes for a corner. That was a very important stop then from Alfie Wood then to deny Taki, who is just such a nuisance, isn't he, with when he gets that ball.
He's just raw pace and power, isn't he? He's always going to give himself a chance. But we've got Ledgers down. A bit of an injury to the RAF captain at the moment.
So that will slightly delay the corner. Yeah, he's just down in the box receiving a bit of treatment. These 5G pitches, pretty unforgiving, but it guarantees a perfect surface, doesn't it? I can't remember actually the last time when all 3 of our under-23 matches were all played on a plastic pitch.
That's true. It just makes a good base for a bit of a football match, rather than having, especially this time of year, with the weather that we always have in the UK.
I know this stadium here, the 3G pitch or the 4G pitch is such a community asset here. Just talking to Andy, the chairman, earlier on today, that they just it is in use every single day of the year. This pitch for community things, children on it, having seniors playing. You know, it is just so well used.
I think we're starting to see them all around the country now. It's just it's the way forward, I think, especially to get youngsters into the game and always have somewhere to play no matter what the weather looks like. Can always get a ball on the floor and play football.
And there's still a bit of treatment going on then for the Air Force captain, Blake Ledger. He's certainly a player that Danny Bartley can't really afford to lose.
Yeah, I think.
And it looks like he's going to have to come off as well, which is going to be a real blow for them. And the injury issues that Danny Bartley's had to deal with. He will be replaced by Ethan Jones, I think, who's preparing to come on the pitch. Wearing number 15. That's a real shame for the Air Force to lose your captain, particularly so early on in the match.
Yeah, that's a tough blow for Danny and this side, but I'm sure they've got a good squad depth, someone to come and fill the gap.
Ethan Jones just preparing to come on. Yeah, just the confirmation coming up from the board that Blake Ledger will play no further part in the game. He's hobbling off the pitch. He's holding his right knee by the looks, so he's clearly twisted it or done something to it. So it will be Ethan Jones, also based at RAF Cranwell.
Straight into the defender corner. Tough.
Yeah, never the easiest thing, is it, when you have a corner to defend, which is going to be taken then coming in from that right-hand side.
Another deep one.
Straight there, the attempted volley on the edge of the box or on the edge of the 6 yard.
And he's in again here. He's got to get past Femi Taki, though. He ain't doing that.
Interesting, isn't it, how Taki was there in that defensive position where you would have thought he'd probably be in an attacking position for that corner. But it just goes to show these Army players just prepared to go all over the pitch to protect this lead that they have, 1-0. So Jones straight into the action. Sadler back to Jones. That's a nice ball forward. Takes it one more time. Bit of a sky there from Declan Howe. Here's Staunton.
That's poor.
Bit of a speculative shot. Didn't really need to do that, did he? He had a bit more, I think it was a bit more time than maybe he thought he had.
Yeah.
Approaching the last 5 minutes then of this first half. Army leading by 1-0 in this deciding match in the Inter-Services Under-23 Championship for 2025. Just happy at the moment of the Army to play that ball around the back. No press from the Air Force. Thompson and Budd. Ball comes straight back. Actually, the goalkeeper does collect it. Pocklington.
Yeah, just retaining the ball really well now, the Army. Control the game again. And I say that, and he kicks it long.
Rogers, yeah, aiming for Jack Lowe. But it is tidied up by the Air Force eventually. Nice control from Sadler. Still on the ball. Still going. And Jones with the long ball forward. McCowie heads it forward, and he's still got the chance. But he just slipped under his boot there, didn't it?
Great tackle.
Wins it back.
Great tackle.
Referee says it was a fair tackle. Real tussle going on there on that right-hand side. All fair challenges, said referee Hugh. I think he's quite absolutely right there, Hugh Marfell.
Yeah, definitely. Got the crowd going on the other side as well, which is nice.
As it stands, just to remind you, the Army have got to win this game by 2 clear goals. At the moment, they're halfway there. At the moment, the Royal Navy have their one hand on the trophy, which clearly, Stu, you're very happy about. But things can, as we've said, things can change very quickly in a game of football like this. RAF now charging forward. Here's O'Hanlon.
Oh, that's great defending again.
Really good defensive work. Shields the ball off. Another goal kick.
It's one of those big centre-backs. Rogers, it's tough to get past no matter how quick you are. It's good positioning, well played.
And I'm sure that the senior Army coaching staff looking at this must be pretty impressed with the defensive performance so far from the Army boys. Look very, very comfortable so far.
Yeah, definitely. There's been no clear chance for the RAF yet, but I'm sure over the next 45, 50 minutes we'll find something.
Devine. Turned into trouble in the end. He was looking to find George McCowie, who was charging down that right-hand side, but just went a little bit too far. And it's the Army who have the throw-in. Pocklington then in no real hurry to get this ball forward. Eventually just plays it square to Thompson, his captain. Again back to his keeper. And here's Alfie Rogers. Reynolds.
Let's kick it straight out.
Yeah. Not what he intended. We're here at the SB Stadium, home of Bracknell Town FC for this match. This is not the first game that's going to be staged here in Inter-Services football. I think we've got the Women's Championship match is going to be here. Army's home game next month. That'll be staged here. Nice ball forward by Alfie Budd. Eventually, the goalkeeper having to hook it out of play, out of the ground, to deny the Army any more of opportunity. Just looking to see how much extra time we're going to have at the end of this first half. It looks like there's going to be 4 minutes of stoppage time played. As the board goes up for 4 minutes.
Officials indicate a minimum of 4 minutes at a time. 4 minutes.
RAF eventually clearing it, but only as far as Budd on that right-hand side.
Ooh, another good ball.
There's another chance for the Army there. Jack Lowe going in. And they win another corner. That's the Army's 4th corner of the game. They do look dangerous from these set pieces.
Yeah, they've put every single one to the back post here, and they've got it every single time, so I'd imagine it'd be the same again.
Looks like it's Stevens who's going to take it again. Declan Stevens, who's been taking the corners on this right-hand side. Again, goes wide.
Deep one.
Yeah,
there he
deep
is.
to the back post, but that was a really good defensive work then from O'Hanlon.
It's not a bad ball, that, you know. That's not a bad ball if he's got a bit of pace in him.
Well,
Which way's he gone? Oh, he's gone the Army way.
I think that was the right decision.
Yeah, I think he pushed him
I
first.
think there was a push there on Femi Taki, and I think it was the right decision from the linesman there. Despite the protests from from George McCowie there, he made the first push.
Certainly did. Sharp officiating there. Good from the men in black.
Taki, good work from him though. It's flushed out by Jones, the substitute who's come on at the central defence. RAF win that free kick. George Bishop. Plenty of urgency then in the Air Force as they hunt for an equaliser before half-time.
He's got him out.
That has gone out. I think it's just for a throw, isn't it?
Throwing in the corner, throwing.
Which the Air Force will be anxious to take quickly. Sorrel Christa is going to go over to take it. Well, it was certainly worth a go, wasn't it?
Acrobatics, yeah.
Worth a go from Tom O'Hanlon there. But it eventually didn't go where he wanted it. I think onto the top of the clubhouse here. Couple of minutes played now of the extra 4 that has been decided by the officials. Army still leading 1-0. And they're in no great hurry to push forward then with the goal kick. Ethan Reynolds aiming it long. An RAF head on the end of it in the end. Now, that's nicely done by Howe, but collected by Bishop. George Bishop.
Again.
That's a really good ball, and it's going to be chased by McCowie, who has certainly got plenty of pace on him. But
got past him.
And he has eventually. McCowie, good work from him. Ball comes across,
Oh.
but goalkeeper's positioning was just perfect from Charlie Pocklington there.
That was a chance. On the floor, it's a chance.
When you get that ball so deep, it can, you know, it can go just about anywhere, can't
Yeah,
it?
it certainly can.
Good to hear from Rob Baston this afternoon, who used to manage the Army football team. He says it's so important to identify the up-and-coming talent for the military players. Good to hear from you this afternoon, Robbie. Major retired Robbie Baston. And that is indeed half-time. You heard the flag go there, the whistle go for half-time. 1-0. So what about your thoughts then, Stu, on that first half? I think it's gone the way we might have expected. The Army obviously have taken the lead, but they don't seem in a huge hurry to be pushing on for a second goal.
I think Keith will be stood there knowing that he's playing well and he knows he's going to get chances in the second half, so they don't have to force the issue now. Plenty of time in the game left, and they only need to score one more and not concede, and that's undone with a trophy.
Indeed. And as far as Danny Bartley is concerned, they've been competitive, haven't they, the Air Force so far? A real blow losing their captain, of course, Blake Ledger. But so far, his replacement, Ethan Jones, has stepped into the breach really well.
Yeah, he's done well when he's come on into a tough environment. I think the RAF going forward are sharp. They just need a little bit more quality right in and around the box, and they'll give themselves a chance to come back in this game.
Well, Stu Morgan and myself will be back, of course, for the second half in good time. The floodlights just coming on now to lighten the pitch. But let's find out a bit more about the rest of the world of forces sport, shall we? Starting, of course, with In Case You Missed It. Hello, this is John Knighton with In Case You Missed It. The 74th Inter-Services Snow Sports Championships have concluded in Mirabel. The Army, Navy and the RAF all took home 8 individual titles each, respectively, across telemark, alpine and snowboard events. 6 athletes from across the services will go on to compete for the UK Armed Forces at the British Championships at the end of March. You can catch our Forces Sport Mirabel special next week and look out for an interview with a retiring Royal Navy ski star later in this week's Forces Sport show. Royal Marine Lance Corporal Taylor Lawrence has bagged double bronze at the European Championships in Lillehammer as part of Great Britain's 2-man and 4-man bobsleigh teams. With driver Brad Hall, Lawrence made history to win Britain's first European medal in the 2-man event since 1968. They followed up in the 4-man event also to win bronze behind Germany's 2 leading bobsleigh teams. And fellow Royal Marine Adam Baird with brakeman Ollie Butterworth of the Paras finished 9th in the 2-man. The RAF versus Royal Navy Rugby Union fixtures have a new home for 2025. The Cinch Stadium, Franklin's Gardens, home of the reigning Premiership champions Northampton Saints, will host the men's and women's matches. The action will also be live on the BFBS Forces News YouTube channel on April the 19th. Head coach RAF Sergeant Dan McNamara led his semi-professional Wolves team into the 5th round of the Women's FA Cup against the holders Manchester United. The difference in quality was too much though for Wolves as they lost by 6-0. And this is the moment Team UK's James Cairns got his gold medal moment when he proposed to his girlfriend at the Invictus Games. It came after Team UK competed in the wheelchair basketball event on the first day of sporting action in Vancouver. You can catch up on all the action and stories from the Invictus Games at forcesnews.com/Invictus.
There have been many emotional moments in this Games, and on the last day of sporting action involving hundreds of weary competitors, Team UK's vice-captain Gemma Barnes had hers. Gemma won bronze in the IR7 4-minute endurance event and got to celebrate on the podium with her teammate Andy McAvoy.
Yeah, I met Gemma at the very beginning when we first did the buildup course right at the very beginning, so we've been on this journey both of us together, so it's amazing. It's really good to share that.
What would you say? I mean, you did skeleton, that must have been one of your favourites. Have you got a favourite of the sports you did?
It's hard to say. Skeleton was amazing. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do that sort of thing, so yeah, that was brilliant having to do that. So I'd say out of all of them, as much as I enjoy team sports, I think the skeleton was sort of like, yeah, definitely the favourite.
In total, there were 15 medals across the board for the United Kingdom in rowing. Wing Commander Mina Enderley won gold in both the IR6 1-minute sprint and the 4-minute endurance race.
You know what it was? I had to tell myself that it isn't about the medals, it's about leaving it all out on the floor. So it was doing my best and knowing that whatever happened, I'd given it everything, and I did that today.
Now, swimming and rowing have a similar kind of atmosphere, but I imagine when you're swimming, you can't really hear it. Here, you can hear it. So it's real drama in your face, isn't it?
Yeah, I had to block lots of it out. And sometimes I closed my eyes and it was just, yeah, it was beautiful.
It's been an exhausting 8 days of sport for the 500 or so competitors involved, but they finally got to relax at the closing ceremony, which officially ended the 2025 Invictus Games. Kath Brazier, BFBS Forces News, Vancouver.
I feel amazing. I feel so happy, so proud to have been able to achieve this goal. It's something that we've set out for maybe the last 2-3 years, because I've always kind of more prioritized the World Cup. But it's something that we've set out to do over the last 3 years, and it's nice that we're able to finally achieve this goal.
You've been in power bobsleigh for quite some time now. You've had so much success. You've won World Championship medals, become a European champion for the first time for Great Britain some years ago, 3 World Cups now. Do you feel like this world title has been a long time coming for you?
Yeah, definitely. I'm a lover of the World Cup. Let me put it that way. I'm a lover of the World Cup because you have to be good everywhere. Whereas the World Championships is just a 4-heat race. So I always focused on wanting to be ranked #1 in the world and be the winner of an overall compilation of points or whatever the case might be. So I've always placed more emphasis on that. But over time, like, you know, you're gonna the Olympics/Paralympics format race is gonna be the World Championship. So that's the one that you want. You become world champion, and that's etched in stone. So, yeah, it was something that we definitely wanted to tick off for sure.
And of course, you formerly served in the British Army some years ago. Yeah. Do they still reach out and support you? Have you heard from them since you won this morning?
Oh, definitely. My regiment and the Household Cavalry have been in contact. And the Household Cavalry Museum, where some of my trophies actually are. Yeah, a number of people. Yeah.
You pretty much won every title you could possibly win. I mean, do you want to continue to go bobsleighing, or what's next for you?
Definitely. I want to win everything constantly. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. I mean, as long as you got the hunger for it, you know, you can achieve it. You can achieve in it. But when you lose the will to get up and go and do those hard, cold mornings and track walks and different things, then you have to reassess. But for me, I'm still hungry. So, yeah, we keep going.
Obviously, last week it was a 2-2 draw between the two teams there, with the Navy and the Army down there at Havant and Waterlooville. And their head coach Stu Morgan makes 4 changes from the team that drew with the Army last Tuesday, welcoming back Dom Berger back into the central defence there. And I know that head coach Stu Morgan is really pleased to have him back. Also, he's got Seb Hobbs back in the team as well, and they are sort of back from operations and deployment. And Josh Woolley, who came in as a substitute, and also Jensen Bryan as well, they came on and impressed as substitutes. Let's move to the RAF then, as they come out onto the field now, taking to the field, and Danny Bartley, their head coach, in his final season with the team, almost unrecognisable, the squad this year, with 12 players missing from last season's squad. So a whole new group of faces, really, with a brand new captain, of course, Blake Ledger. He only played twice for the under-23s already so far, but he's going to relish that chance of leading the team out tonight against the Army. Another player to look out for in the lineup is air specialist Dean Hyam. He scored in the 2-0 win over the Army last season. Don't want to remind you too much about that, Steve. But also played in that deciding game against the Navy 12 months ago, when it was so very, very close to them actually winning the title. But of course the Navy came through and won it 1-0 to win their 3rd successive inter-services under-23 title. So lots of new faces, lots of new players, and hopefully we're going to get to know a few more of those as the game goes on. There will be a corner then for the Navy, which Jensen Bryan will be taking. Bryan, who was one of the substitutes last week and guaranteed his starting lineup in Stu Morgan's team this evening, with an excellent display. Gets the corner in, it's floated in, and it's headed into the net very, very early on, and it's Seb Hobbs who's got the goal. What a start for the Royal Navy here. A perfect corner, brilliantly taken by Jensen Bryan, and there was Seb Hobbs to nod the ball home. Navy asking all the questions at the moment, but and the RAF just finding it a bit difficult to really move their way through, but they are coming forward now, and what a goal! Well, that was a commentary curse then, and what a brilliant goal. Brilliant run into the box, just picked it up from nowhere, and it's 1-1. Dealt with by the defence, but here's O'Hanlon, and he'll take so on too. Opportunity, and he blazes the ball over the bar. Well, that's the second chance that Tom O'Hanlon has had. Oh, it's a real chance then, into the side netting in the end. And again, Tom O'Hanlon was the man. That's the 3rd opportunity he's had. Taylor with the cross. And on the end of it is the number 11, and this time it is Jensen Bryan. He created the opening goal. Oh, but again, great defensive work from the Navy, just once more keeping O'Hanlon out there. Nice control from Long. Navy have it though, or the RAF rather have it, with Staunton into the box, takes the shot, good save from the goalkeeper. Danger not over yet, that'll be another corner. Last chance saloon then for the RAF, and to take this corner is going to be Callum Calverley.
Keeper's up.
Keeper's come up for it as well. Navy managing it, bit of pushing going on. RF's on the edge of the box. Maybe it isn't the last chance, and that's going to be another yellow card for the Navy. Who is going to take this? Really vital stuff for the Air Force here. If they can get an equaliser, it keeps them in the tournament. Bishop takes it, and it sneaks just wide, and it was so close, and that indeed is the last kick of the game. Goalkeeper didn't have to make the save in the end, did Sam Kellett, but it's the Navy who've come through and won this by 2-1 here. The second half goal scored by Jensen Bryan. They took the lead early on through a great header, headed in by Seb Hobbs from a Bryan corner. Good reply though from the RAF with Dean Hyam scoring not long after to level it at 1-1. It was 1-1 at half time, but it's the Navy who've come through, and it's the Navy now who are in the box seat to claim a 4th successive inter-services title. The Army out to stop them. Well, thanks very much indeed, and welcome back to the stadium here, to the SB Stadium here, home of Bracknell Town Football Club, where we're waiting for the second half to get underway between the Army and the RAF's under-23 players. 1-0 at half-time, the goal scored by Tyler Stevens for the Army after 22 minutes, halfway through that first half. And Stu Morgan is with me, the Royal Navy's head coach for their under-23 team, of course, and Stu, mixed feelings. Obviously, you're hoping maybe for more goals on one side, but on the other, hoping that it might just stay at 1-0.
That's it. You know, either 1-0 or I think the RAF will get a couple of chances this half, and hopefully they can stick 1 or 2 of them away.
That would certainly suit the senior service as you push for what will be a fantastic 4th inter-services under-23 title, and whatever happens today, the boys unbeaten in 8 matches, which is a terrific record. It's phenomenal when you put it back to me like that. Between Chris James and I, and the players that we've had over those 4 or 5 years, it's brilliant to see and to feel, and hopefully it carries on for many years to come. Well, you've certainly set up a bit of a dynasty, and obviously with the Navy, the senior inter-services champions as well. And you look back at Chris's work, obviously bringing that under-23 team on 4 years ago. He then moved to the senior team. I'm just thinking, you know, there's possibility of vacancies popping up with Chris being touted possibly for the UCAF team to take over. Obviously they've got some changes there, and I mean, I suppose the question would be is if you were offered the job of running the senior team. You don't have to answer this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What would be your answer, do you think?
I love Navy football, and if the call came, I'm sure I'd sit down at the table and have some conversations. Well,
I'm sure they could talk about the money and that's it. But it's great to have you with us here today, Stu. And I know, obviously, that if things remain as they are, then the Navy will be crowned as champions once again. And you'll have to leave our commentary position and head over there to receive the trophy, which I'm sure you'd be delighted to do.
Yeah, I think I will. I'll be running over.
But we have 45 minutes of football still to go here. And things can change very, very quickly, as we well know. In services football, the Army have been out just doing some final limbering up. The Army, the RAF, strolling out onto the pitch for the start of the second half. And I just wonder whether we're going to see an onslaught on the RAF goal in this second 45 minutes, Stu, because obviously they need that second goal. They need to win by 2 clear goals to win this title.
Yeah, I think Keith will certainly have the boys up for it to go and push for the next goal, but I think he'll want more. If the RAF get one back late on, it's going to be a really, really interesting tie.
Certainly will. The RAF have a new captain, by the way, for the second half, and that's Jack Harrison, as Corporal Blake Ledger, based at RAF Cranwell, had to leave the field, unfortunately. Looked like a knee injury that he suffered in that first half. He was replaced by Ethan Jones, wearing number 15, who's replaced him at the centre of defence. Don't see any other changes that have been made by the RAF at the break, and no changes for the Army either. So the starting lineups as they were for the Army: in goal, Charlie Pocklington, Alfie Budd, Ethan Reynolds, Luke Thompson, Alfie Rogers, Jack Lowe, Alfie Watts, Buster Reed, Tyler Stevens and Declan Howe, with Femi Taki. And for the Air Force, Miles Coley in goal, George McCowie, Rel Christer, Jack Harrison, with Ethan Jones, Alfie Wood, George Bishop, Dylan Sadler, Tom O'Hanlon and Jack Staunton, with Cal Devine as well, wearing number 11. Those are the lineups that we had at the beginning of the game. And of course, if there are any changes that happen throughout this second half, we will let you know. But we get underway now then, with the Army kicking from right to left. In their red strip here, they're the home team here. We're actually at Sandhurst, of course, even though this is the home of Bracknell Town FC. Offside goes up. Air Force plenty to play for, though. The Neil Hope Trophy. And this was introduced a couple of years ago with each of the games having a solo trophy to play for, which makes all these games worthwhile. Obviously, not a dead rubber at all, as might have happened in the past. Ball goes forward for the Air Force. Army in possession, getting it back. Well won though for the RAF, and they're still going. Bishop.
It's a good run. Good run in behind.
Still, and they will win the corner.
That's a good start from the RAF.
Their first corner of the second half then. Early doors, and if you remember, they actually made a very positive start to the first half, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did, John.
So a corner then on this right-hand side of the field to be taken by Dylan Sadler.
He's gone short as 2-on-1.
Takes the 1-2 with Staunton. Cross comes in. Staunton again on the edge of the box, out to Sadler, aiming for a big defender possibly who stayed upfield, but in the end it runs harmlessly out of play. That's a shame for the Air Force there. It was a good build-up for them.
Yeah, it certainly was. They just didn't find that right ball again in the final third.
So no pressure then on Charlie Pocklington's goal, despite the early corner for the Air Force. Long ball forward from Thompson. Chases on. Important that Jones makes this. He did well in the end. Found his goalkeeper, Coley. Miles Coley making his debut today for the Air Force. Based at RAF Bryce Norton.
Oof.
Hoofs it forward. They have a slightly different style to the Army. The Army very anxious or very keen to just play the ball out from the back.
Yeah, they're nice and composed at the back. They're taking their time and waiting for it to open up, and the RAF are trying to go a bit more direct.
Bishop hoofs that one out of the ground. No doubt it'll be recovered by maybe a small boy who's playing football on the field opposite. Wasn't expecting to receive a ball like that. But it's a throw to the Army, which Jack Lowe just waiting for it to maybe to receive it very quickly, but makes the run. Reed loses out. Good play from Jones, gets the ball clear.
Oof. Getting in each other's way again, the RAF.
The ball flying in all directions at the moment, and that is a throw to the Air Force. The wind just getting up a little bit here. Wood with the clearance. Just quite untidy the play at the moment. Neither side really establishing themselves. Rogers and Reynolds. Taki, lovely
Taki.
Ball forward.
Good
Chance
running.
then for the Army here if they can make the most of it.
Go, if he wants it.
In the end, good defending.
Oh,
and a shot
Safety.
comes in from Alfie Watts there. but quite comfortable for Coley to deal with. He made one good save in that first half, early on in the first half, to deny the Army. Harrison. And Jones. Just looking for a bit of support. Air Force just playing the ball back at the moment.
Keeper's got 2 different colour boots on, I just noticed.
Hasn't he just? Yeah.
Oh, I can see that. Well, the referee could be going to his pocket here.
McCowie.
It's a bit cynical.
Goes to ground, yeah, Alfie Budd. Maybe quite lucky to get away with that one, I think. In fact, it was Ethan Reynolds who made the challenge, I think, and the referee is going to have a word with him, I think. So just a bit of attention then being given.
Well, he has got his card out, the ref, in the end.
Yep. It was a very late challenge. So Ethan Reynolds goes into the book.
He's going to have to be very careful now. There's going to be a lot of balls in behind his head.
So that's the first card of of this match, dispensed by Royal Navy referee Hugh Marfell. Free kick then to the Air Force, taken by Jones, floating it into the box. Army eventually get it clear.
Here comes Taki again on the charge. Forces another mistake.
And that's another ball out of the ground.
How many have they got?
Yeah, you have to have a decent supply of footballs these days, don't you, for these stadiums?
Yeah.
But that one's come straight back. I think it only just went on the sort of the road on the outside of the pitch, so I think we were okay there. Stevens. Nice ball across to Reynolds.
Here's Buster Reed. He's got some
Yeah,
good
Reed.
feet. Great
And he
strike.
takes a shot and he scores a brilliant goal.
What a goal.
Well, that is a superb goal from Buster Reed. Well, that's a goal we'll want to watch again and again and again. That was just brilliant. He just turned on a sixpence and no chance for the goalkeeper there. Miles Coley, just no chance. Those are the sort of goals that you look forward to seeing in a game of football, and Reed has produced an absolute bullet.
You'll be watching that again for many, many weeks to come. What a strike.
Well, what a great goal. And again, it sort of came out of nothing, really, didn't it? You know, he was just picked the ball up.
In the driving seat
20
now.
yards out, and that has put the Army 2-0 in front. And that is crucial. That is absolutely crucial for the Army, because if it stays like this, then it's going to be the Army's title here on goal difference. What a goal. I have to say, just sort of seeing the replay now, he picked it up and absolutely buried it into that top right-hand corner. Buster Reed, what a cracker. Lynn Holland says, get in the Army. Matt Gosling, Buster's goal was a cracker. You're quite right. But the Air Force now have a corner on that far side of the field. What can they do here to get themselves back into this? From a Navy's point of view, they need, of course, a goal. Corner comes in. Just a little bit too far for everybody. So the skipper did really well there, did Jack Harrison, but he's lost out in the end. Here comes Taki again. He's fouled. He's brought down by Harrison. And Harrison's gone down too. He's holding his knee.
I think he's really hurt here.
I think he really made the challenge. Yeah, he's in a bit of he's in a lot of pain. More attention needed then for him. It was not a, I wouldn't say a reckless challenge, but it was certainly a tough challenge, wasn't it, that he made? And he's come off worse. And I think it's a free kick to the Army as well. So he's lost out on all counts there.
Certainly has.
It's actually his knee, I think, that he's holding. I think he twisted his knee when he went down. And he was the one that originally chased after the ball, brought it back almost to the centre circle, and then he went back and made a challenge to get that ball back. Made the challenge, and he fell awkwardly on his ankle, but I think he's also twisted his knee as well. So I hope he's going to be okay. He's just having it extended at the moment, and the Air Force could do without any more injuries at this stage, couldn't they? I think they would be very happy if he could carry on, Stu.
I certainly would. I think they had the same issues last week with people coming off injured, and it's happening again to them. It's unfortunate, but they've got to regroup, pick themselves up, and see what they can do in this game.
The Army have a 2-0 lead. At the moment, that is good enough to win this Inter-Services Under-23 trophy. And, of course, the Jack Harrison, the Neil Hope trophy as well. He's treading very, very gingerly at the moment. He's leaving the field. I don't think he's going to play any further parts. So that's Jack Harrison, the second RAF captain who's had to leave the field. He's now being replaced by Josh Mills, who is wearing number 17, who will replace him. There we are, there's the confirmation. So it's not been a good afternoon so far for the RAF, and in terms of their defensive setup, they've lost their two central defenders. Well, certainly Jack Harrison and Blake Ledger, they've lost two captains, which is a bit of a blow, isn't it?
It's like the poisoned armband. No one wants to wear it. He's in. Good hands from the keeper.
Well, to misquote the importance of being earnest, to lose one captain is unfortunate. To lose both looks like carelessness. I wouldn't say it is careless, though. Ethan Jones. Ball aimed forward for the Air Force, and here's McCowie. Danger man on the right-hand side. Looked very good in that first half as well. Lots of pace. Just couldn't turn that into anything in terms of goals for the Air Force. The Army happy to get that one cleared again with Alfie Rogers.
Yeah, they're defending really well, the Army. Nice, tight, compact. And
it's going to be difficult for the Air Force to break that, make their way through. Early touch then for Mills. Slotted into that sort of right back position. Just a rather hopeful ball forward there. Not able to find his man. But next time we have a break in play, it would be lovely to see that goal again. I think it was an absolute bullet from Buster Reed. I was told before the Army RAF Army Navy game that he'd score a hat-trick. Well, he got one goal against you, and he's got an absolute a peach of a goal to put the Army 2-0 up here.
He looks like a good asset for the Army for many years to come. I think he's going to be in and around the setup for a long time.
Yep. So Kidlington Town player, former Shrewsbury player, supports Manchester United. They could do with a few goal scorers at the moment.
Yeah, I'm a big Spurs fan, so...
Well, Reed makes an unfair challenge, puts the ball in the net, but it was a foul. I think he knew straight away that it was a foul challenge.
The refs let him get away with that.
Just a severe talking to from Hugh Marfell.
Don't want to let that ball run me. Femi running towards you.
Josh Mills got lucky there. Finds Ethan Jones. Just looking for a bit of space there up front. Yeah, the man who they need to get into this game really is Tom O'Hanlon. Was dangerous in that first half, but here come the Army again. That's beautifully controlled by Jack Lowe. Gets the cross in. This chase is still on for it.
Deep ball. Good hand from the keeper.
Goalkeeper makes a good save. Goes out for a throw. Ethan Reynolds there. Dangerous cross coming in from the left-hand side. That's the Army's first corner of this second half. But they have a 2-0 lead here. Just over the hour played. We've got around half an hour left of this inter-services season. Army looking very comfortable at the moment. They have the corner then on that far side of the field.
That's too deep.
Just too deep, yeah, from Stevens there. Runs harmlessly out of play. Much to the relief of the RAF defence.
He's gone down as well with a bit of a hamstring injury, I think, from kicking that ball.
Yeah, Tyler Stevens, who got the opener for the Army this afternoon. Yeah, it's either cramp or a hamstring. Just getting a... So let's have a look at that goal, shall we? That absolute corker scored by Buster Reed. And, you know, these sort of goals, you kind of hope you're going to see them. But, you know, it was a brilliant effort. And if it's a goal that wins them a title, then I suppose, you know, speaking totally as a neutral as I am, you'd have to say that a goal like that almost deserves to win a title, doesn't it, Stu?
Yeah, it's a great strike. He's clearly got some talent, the kid, and he's just, you know, give himself a chance to put himself in the lights of the glory.
So I'm sure it's a goal that he'll look back on for a long, long time, and certainly his teammates as well. Absolutely thrilled with that. Great celebrations at the end.
Definitely, but they can't relax now, the Army. I think one more goal for them kills it off, and the RAF see what they can conjure up in the last half an hour.
Yeah, if the Army were to score a third goal, the Air Force would have to score 3 then. I think it would be beyond them, to be fair, from what we've seen already today.
Yeah, I agree.
But leaving the field then is Tyler Stevens, a former Birmingham City player at youth level. Looks like his game is over. He's going to be replaced by Lewis Coker, wearing number 17. And for any player, you know, who played a major part in a tournament, to have to leave the field through injury, it's clearly a disappointment, and he's hugely disappointed to be having to walk around the pitch.
I think he's going to milk this walk, though. You know, 2-0 up, he's had a good game, scored a goal. I think he's going to enjoy the walk back to the bench.
Well, Jack Layton has come on with that's been a late change that's been made.
I think they've taken off Buster Reed.
I think Reed's gone off as well, yeah. So it looks to me like Keith might be looking to settle for 2 goals. This 2-0 lead, just to hold on to what he's got. Good work from Taki there. Jack Lowe, powerful looking player. Air Force break out really well there, but that's going to go out of play. So 2 changes made then by Keith Emerson. Lewis Coker and Jack Layton are on for Tyler Stevens and Buster Reed, just to confirm that. Ethan Jones, who's played really well for the Air Force since he came on as a first-half substitute. And Alfie Wood. Howe, still going. Oh. Well, he's taken out there, big style. I don't think it was a malicious challenge, though. I think he just got in the way, didn't he, really? Yeah. Few shouts going up from the Army defence. Kill the game. I think that was Alfie Rogers who said that. It's a bit early for game management, I would suggest, in this match, but free kick comes in. It's a great one. The goalkeeper has almost spilled it, but in the end, Miles Cully did a good job there. Those sort of free kicks are so difficult to deal with.
Couple of changes being made here by Danny as well to come in a minute. Looks like a double change.
He can use 5 substitutes. He's already had to use 2, but he may as well, make a throw of the dice then in this last 25 minutes or so of the match.
I think it's his last window to make a sub as well. Both were made during the game.
You're only allowed to have 3 windows, but they have a chance now on the edge of the box.
Good defending again.
Really well defended there because Tom O'Hanlon was worming his way through. Great work from Luke Thompson at the back there to keep the Air Force out. They've not had a shot on target in this game so far. But now they break forward with Josh Mills.
Stover hit the pass again.
Yeah, the pass just let them down. That'll be no problem for Pocklington, who's really not had a save to make so far in this match. And that'll be disappointing for Danny Bartley. But all credit to the Army defence, who have worked really hard today. They've been very, very efficient at the back and well marshalled.
I mean, you'd expect that from Keith Emerson, centre-half, old-school defender type of side, and they're playing it to a T now.
They are. And of course, the Air Force having to push forward all the time might leave themselves open at the back. Well, there's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other in terms of challenges there going in. Meaty challenges flying in as you would expect. But the Air Force still have it. Again, it just fizzles out for them in the middle of the field. Here's Alfie Wood. What can he do? Decides to go long across field. It's a good ball here to McCowie. Aims it forward for the latest man to wear the captain's armband, which is Jack Staunton. But he commits the foul, and the Army will get away with that and have a free kick. Must be frustrating for the Air Force, though, because they've had their moments in this game, but they've not had a shot on target in the match, and that will be disappointing for them.
Yeah, they've been good going forward in the middle third, and it's just they've been a little bit toothless in front of the goal, which is a bit of a shame because they were dangerous last week.
Some meaty challenges going in, as we said, and he fell quite awkwardly there. Referee just having a word. It was a fair challenge. But good to see Declan Howe getting to his feet in the end. Trouble with these pitches, are not very forgiving, are they, if you land awkwardly on them?
No, I think especially at our age, I don't think they'll be help our bones, but
No.
these kids will be all right to get over it in a day or so.
So Bud then with the free kick for the Army here. This 2-0 lead, of course, good enough for them at the moment to have this Inter-Services Under-23 title in their hands. Be their first win in 4 years. But the Air Force are not done yet. They won't give up. Not until the very last moments. Challenges flying in. It's a good ball forward. Goalkeeper's come out. He's come a long way.
Oh, he's got a chance
And
here.
here's a chance then for O'Hanlon.
Oh, good defending.
Really excellent defending there from Alfie Budd to deny him. Goalkeeper decided to come off his line and make the challenge. Got beaten. And the sort of player that you think can produce some magic is Tom O'Hanlon, but he was really well challenged there by Budd. But the Air Force have the throw. Devine will win the throw. High ball going up. Offside decision as well against the Air Force. What can they do here? It's so difficult for them, Stu, you know, now, tactically, very, very hard, isn't it, for them to change the way they're playing?
Yeah, it's difficult. I think they just need more runners in behind. They're just not willing enough to get in behind the back line of the Army. Everything's in front of them, which is easy to defend, especially for this this setup that they've got going on.
Army looking very, very confident as they now push forward. Nicely controlled there by Coker, but it's the RAF who win the throw. Just the final ball letting George McCowie down. Did all the hard work there. But here come the RF again. Here is McCowie. Not a lot getting past Ethan Reynolds on this left-hand side either. We got a huge amount of credit to go to the Army defence. Alfie Budd, number 2, and Ethan Reynolds, number 3, and the central defensive line doing such a really good job for the Army this afternoon, keeping their concentration, keeping their shape, and not allowing the Air Force any space at all up front. Looks like we're going to see another couple of changes being made. The last throw of the dice, perhaps, for
I think so.
Danny Bartley. The players coming on are going to be Dean Hyam and Ryan Loughton. Hyam wearing 14, Loughton wearing 16. And Alfie Wood has gone off for the Air Force, as has Cal Devine. So the last substitutions that can be made by Danny Bartley to salvage something from this game.
Army are dropping off defensive line, stopping that ball over the top. It's a smart play.
It's, no way through for the Air Force. Danny just trying to shout out some instructions at the moment to get his team maybe a slight change of tactic, but very, very difficult at this stage in the game. Just over a quarter of an hour left. Nice work again from the Army down this right-hand side. The cross and a corner kick. Yeah, really well won there by Alfie Watts. And they'll be in no great hurry to take this either.
No,
just let
they're
the clock
in control.
run down a bit.
15 to go, in control. Set piece, got the big lads up from the back. Get your head on it, 3-0, could be all over.
Alfie Budd to take it then from the right-hand side.
What's the bet? It goes to the back post again.
Well, there's some big lads queuing up there, including Alfie Rogers on the end of it, and also Alfie Watts there, waiting for it. It's a really good one and well punched clear by the keeper. Another corner though.
They've always looked dangerous from set pieces, the Army.
They certainly have. Goes low this time. I don't think he quite intended that.
No.
Leighton, though, turns it well. Still challenging for it. It'll be a throw, though, to the Air Force. Leighton twisting and turning there. Big Wolves fan, apparently. Trooper Leighton from the Royal Armoured Corps.
Oh, that's great.
Nice turn and good defensive work from the Air Force, getting it clear. But once again, the pressure is still on here.
Good defending. This could be a goal kick.
It's going to be
a goal kick.
Corner. No. Well, difficult call there for the referee.
Tough
I think.
To say in that speed.
But all credit to Alfie Watts there for just challenging for that. And the corner going to come in from the right-hand side here from Lewis Coker, rather from the left-hand side from Lewis Coker.
Great ball.
Nicely done.
Great header.
Very important for the defensive header there to get it clear. Danger not over yet, though. Another brilliant cross coming in, and that will be another corner. So the Army really piling the pressure here, looking for a third goal.
I think Rogers is down. I think he ran into the hoardings. I think he's all right. Milking out those extra seconds.
A few cases of cramp as well, just being seen to. It was Jack Lowe just getting a bit of attention there. Coker then with another chance with another corner for the Army. Again, it's taken short this time. And Budd charged down.
Another one out of the stadium. That's another ball gone.
By Jack Staunton there, the stand-in captain. Another chance for the Army then to build something here with Ethan Reynolds. Air Force just having to defend for all their lives at the moment, trailing 2-0.
Offside, I think.
Yeah, an offside decision. Must have been quite tight. McCowie, that's straight to the Army right back, Alfie Budd, who plays the ball down the field. It's a bit of a tussle going on there, eventually won by the RAF man. Just Army looking very strong at the moment. Stu,
yeah,
don't they?
They look like the only team in it at the moment.
They just look very much in control of this game. With the 2-0 lead. And time running out for the Air Force here. But still going. Here's McCowie. Just building from the back. Just trying to work their way through. Staunton gets the cross in. Oh, that's lovely work. Shot goes in, it's a goal! Well, the Air Force have got the goal. Well,
what a finish
that is. Brilliantly taken there by the substitute as well for them. Dean Hyam there has got the goal. And that was
what a goal. We said they weren't in it, John. They're right back in it.
They are right back in it at 2-1. And suddenly we've got a very happy member of the Royal Navy here because, of course, Royal Marines, because if it stayed like this, then the title will go back to the Royal Navy.
Certainly will, John, and we'll be happy. Right, that's it. Park the bus. Park the bus, RAF.
Well, you can never write these players off because, you know, and all credit to the Air Force for really going for it there. It was really the first opportunity they'd had to build from the back and spread the ball wide. It was a brilliant cross that came in, and all credit to the substitute there, to Hyam there, to Dean Hyam, who I actually said scored the goal last week against the Navy. He has definitely scored now against the Army. So well done to Dean Hyam, and it's 2-1, and this game is still there, and it's still open for the taking. And of course, if it came back to 2-2, then the Neil Hope trophy would be split between the Army and the RAF. Well, the Army were in so much control of this game, but now things have changed just a little bit.
It has changed. There's plenty of time to go, plenty of chances still from either end, and it's going to be an interesting last 10 here, John.
And the Army having to make another change here by the looks. I'm just seeing who's coming on. Number 16 coming on for them, and going off is Declan Howe. So Dan Bonner from Kingsclear FC, Sapper Bonner from the Royal Engineers, big Aston Villa fan. He's now got a chance, and he's come on for Declan Howe. So the Army have really got to push then, haven't they, for a third goal here. It's 2-1, identical score to what, of course, we had last week.
It'll be interesting to see their take on it now, the last 10 minutes for Keith. I think they were quite composed. I think they carry on what they're doing, they'll still get chances in this game. And another one to come from this free kick. Up come the big boys again.
Yeah, challenging for it. Free kick then comes in from the right back. And they're really going for it on there. This is Luke Thompson, the captain, keeps the pressure on with the throw now. Alfie Budd will take on that right-hand side. Budd then with the throw.
Keep finding the big lad up front now, Lowe, who's replaced Buster Reed. That's trying to find his chest every time. Oh, and there's a break on.
Break on then for the Air Force. What can they do here?
Oh.
He made the wrong decision in the end. He was clearly looking for Tom O'Hanlon. Air Force again, they've just got an extra spring in their step now, haven't they?
Here goes Taki on the charge. Oh, it's good
defensive
from
work.
The young lad. Oh, he's kept it in, old Tom O'Hanlon.
Yeah, he's done really well.
Oh, it's a poor header.
Army then can bring this one clear now.
Here's a bit of a danger man low.
Here's low.
Oh, what a ball.
Cross.
What a cross that is. Great defending.
Right across the face of goal. And it was good defensive work then by the Air Force.
It's gripping stuff now, the last 5 minutes.
By
gripping.
Josh Mills, yeah. Just around 5 minutes to go. Can the RAF hold on? They don't want to hold on, of course. They want to get back into this game for a draw, at least. The Army need this third goal. They have the corner. And it's over the bar. And what a chance that was for Jack Lowe.
Oh, it's a sitter, John. Absolute sitter.
Well, it was Lewis Coker who had the chance there. It was a header. And well, it's gone over the bar.
That's their out, I think, for the Army. Set pieces is going to be the key for them the last 5 minutes.
And I just wonder how many members of your Royal Navy team are watching at the moment, Stu, who are keeping, biting all their fingernails at the moment and just thinking, is this going to be us again?
I think there's a few of them looking for it.
Army once again bringing it clear. The chase is on. What pace Jack Layton has there. He was...
Yeah, good decision from the line-out. It's a good decision from the line-out. The Army aren't happy with it. It's a good decision. Yeah, referee's booking another bloke here. Bud's just taken a yellow card there for from unchoice words.
Must be a bit of frustration creeping in for the Army here. They thought they had this in the bag, didn't they?
They certainly did.
They were playing it almost game managing. Just wondered whether they just game managed it a little bit too early. But we've still got plenty of time here. Taki runs through, gets the shot in, and he scored! Well, that is a third goal for the Army. Well, he's been threatening that all afternoon. Has Femi Taki just beat off his challenge, beat off the defender, and he's put the ball past Miles Coley. It's 3-1 to the Army.
What a finish. What a finish. A mix-up at the back again from the RAF.
Yeah, they were just caught there, weren't they? And, well, you can see what it means to them because Taki just ran through there on the right-hand side, went right across the goal, edge of the box, and steered it into the net.
Great finish, great finish.
Well, absolutely delighted. Well, the Army... Their heads went down a little bit, didn't they? The frustration level went up. But now they've got that third goal. There's a yellow card being issued here somewhere. I'm not sure who it's been issued to. It looked like it's gone to the bench. Army have made another change here. Dan Bonner has come on. In fact, he is on already. I apologise. He was just looked like he was running... back onto the pitch, and a couple of Army players down just having some attention. Bit of a break in play then. Army 3-1. Well, Stu, I know that inside you'll be absolutely gutted at the moment.
Yeah, listen, they're 3-1 up. I think they deserve a victory. But, my boys didn't lose it. The Army went and won it. So fair play to Keith and his boys.
Not over yet. We've still got a couple of minutes to go, plus stoppage time. We're into the last minute of normal time. I'm sure there's going to be probably 4 or 5 minutes of stoppage time to play here. Still time for the RAF possibly to get a second goal. They are making another change of the Army, and coming on for them is Kyle Coolidge. replacing replacing Alfie Budd. Budd leaving the field now, and another change as well for the Army as well. Number 19, Jamie Ford, coming on for Ethan Reynolds. So the two fullbacks have been replaced, left and right hand side.
8 minutes.
And we have 8 minutes more to play. Well, there's still time then for more goals to be scored in this under-23 decider. And what a thrilling second half we've had here. Goalkeeper comes out right on the edge of his line. Charlie Pocklington. He hasn't had a shot to save, but well beaten by the goal that was scored by Hyam. But that 2-goal lead restored for the Army by a lovely individually taken goal from Femi Taki, Forley Town player. Apparently he was fired by Wagamamas for volleying a katsu curry when he worked for them. You pick up all sorts of information, don't you?
That's superb.
I've been hoping to use that line, and now he scored a goal, we can use it quite genuinely. RAF just clearing it, but more time then for the Army here. We've played a minute and a half of the 8 allotted extra minutes. Air Force that anxious to get it clear again, trying to move it forward. Here's Bishop. Goes cross-field in the end. And Josh Mills on this right-hand side. Just runs into Taki. Building again with Bishop. And here's Jones.
I think they're a bit tired now, the RAF boys. Some stray passes going around.
Here's O'Hanlon, who's run his socks off this afternoon for the Air Force, but to no avail at the moment. 3-1 it is to the Army. Are they heading for their first title in several years at this under-23 level? Good work on that side by Leighton. Still has the ball. Nice control from him. He's beaten his defender. Doesn't get the cross in. Does eventually on his left foot. And it's hammered clear by O'Hanlon. Literally running himself into the ground. He's absolutely run his socks off today. But the Army will be no hurry to take this. Here's Jamie Ford. Plays for Sandhurst FC, so that cross comes in safely into the hands of the keeper, Miles Coley. And you want to get that ball up the field as quickly as he can. 3.5 minutes play. We've still got 5 minutes to go here of the allocated stoppage time. Bishop decides to go back to Krista, who launches it in towards the box. O'Hanlon with the header. If you were choosing a player of the match, I wonder, it's a difficult one, isn't it?
It is a tough one. It is a very tough one. Give me a minute, John.
Well, I must admit, Tom O'Hanlon has just worked so hard today for very little reward, and it's sometimes players, who run their socks off, not necessarily the glamour shot. I mean, you have to look at Taki as well, because look at the pace that he's shown. He's taken the defender off, looking for that, and eventually that has to go out of play. Again, time management, good work from the Army here.
Yeah, I think he's been great. Taki's set up the first goal, scored the winner of the trophy, but Alfie Rogers at the back has been absolutely solid, marshalled the back line and been very impressive.
Yeah, been some great performances from both teams. No doubt there will be a player of the match selected by one of the VIPs here, I'm sure, today. And we'll be sticking around, obviously, for the final presentations here for the two trophies, for the Neil Hope Trophy and also for the Inter-Services Trophy as well. Five and a half minutes played now, the stoppage time. We've got 2.5 to go. Army have got a player down. It's actually one of the substitutes as well who's just come on, and that's Dan Bonner. He's running back to position. Air Force throw. And Bonner straight away.
I think he's all right, isn't he?
He seems to be okay, yes. Giving it back with interest, I think, giving the...
Oh.
Mills. Long ball forward. Eventually scrambled clear by the Army, and this is a really good charge then from Jamie Ford here.
Just overran it.
Overran it, the RAF pick it back. And this is still not over. Not until that final whistle goes. Here's Taki chasing after it.
Another ball lost.
Defensive work, good play from Josh Mills there. And have we actually officially run out of footballs?
I think the Army definitely have.
There's a ball now on the far side of the pitch, which goalkeeper Miles Coley is scrabbling over to collect. So we've had 7.5 minutes. Referee just checking his watch here. Hugh Marfell just checking his watch. If the Air Force are going to get anything out of this game, they're going to have to do it quickly. Dean Hyam leaves it for the substitute Mills to take the throw. It is all about game management now for the Air Force. And what a challenge that was from Jack Lowe.
I think this might be the last little kick from the keeper.
I think this could be the last action we see, and in fact that is the last action we see. And it's huge congratulations to the British Army. You can see what it means to them as they celebrate winning this Inter-Services title for the first time in 4 years. They've seen off the RAF challenge here today. Well, Stu Morgan, I know that inside you'll be disappointed that it's gone to the Army, and the Navy obviously didn't get that fourth title. You haven't lost, but it's been a classic game today, hasn't it?
Great game of football. I think on the balance of it, the Army deserved the win, and you know, they've gone and won the trophy by scoring the right amount of goals. So well done to Keith and his team, and look forward to seeing them in the future.
They knew what they had to do, of course. Disappointing for the RAF today, for Danny Barclay and his team, who clearly put the effort in, a massive amount of effort. They've come away from this tournament with nothing in terms of points. And they've lost both of their games, but I know, speaking to Danny earlier, he's been really hampered, hasn't he, by injury issues. I think very shortly we're going to be out on the pitch talking to the winning captain for the British Army team, who is going to be Luke Thompson. He is just standing by with Julian at the moment, to Julian Evans. Very shortly we'll be hearing from them to hear what they have to say. Let's now go pitch side then. Julian Evans is now talking to Luke Thompson.
Victoria skipper Luke Thompson, marvellous performance by yourself and your team today.
Cheers.
Not just this performance today, but the one against the Royal Navy.
Yeah, it was really good performance. You know, we looked where we went wrong in the Navy game, and we put it right today. And we did the right things at the right time, and we come out in the second half firing. We didn't really fire against the Navy, but we did this game.
I can see you're exhausted now, not just you, but everybody involved in this tournament for you.
Yeah, we've put so much work into this, like players, gaffers, coaches. We're all so grateful as well, and you know, all we wanted to do was win this tournament, and that's what we've done.
It's not about individuals, but two names that strike a chord really. You mentioned gaffer Keith Emerson in his first inter-services campaign as your head coach.
Yeah, it's brilliant for him. You know, we all look up to him massively, and he's a massive role model for all of us with what he's done in football.
And the other, Femi Taki, I thought he was sensational today, diminutive in size, but he popped up with an assist and a goal.
Yeah, you know, Femi's brilliant. You know, we'd be lost without him. So yeah, thank God he scored that goal.
Well, it's very important that you get back into that huddle as captain. Congratulations.
Cheers, thank you. Cheers.
So Julian Evans then there with the victorious captain Luke Thompson for the British Army. And you mentioned obviously Taki's performance there. Not only did he score obviously, but he did set up the one of the goals as well for the Army. So a great performance. I'd be very surprised if we don't see him as the player of the match today, Stu.
Yeah, I concur. He's just an absolute handful, isn't he? Just got raw pace. He's strong. He knows where the goal is, and a great overall performance today.
What do you think this says overall about the quality of under 23 football at inter-services level? Because we've seen, you know, 3 really competitive games, 3, you know, some very high quality football at times.
I think you'll see a lot of the lads from all 3 squads in the senior service fixtures in next month. I think that's how good the quality is at this level, and it's only going to grow with the more we get it out there, the more people watch it, and the more people join the military and understand that football's part of that, the better it's going to be in the future.
Well, huge celebrations going on amongst the Army players just at the moment. So we're going to have obviously the official presentation will be made very, very shortly in front of our camera position here. The Army just moving forward now to receive their trophy. Not only that, but also the Neil Hope Trophy today. And a thought as well for the Air Force today, and obviously for Danny Bartley, because you know he's coming to the end of his time as the head coach for RAF football. They're not that far behind, are they?
No, they're not. I mean, both games could have gone either way, and I think just my side and the Army lads just a little bit better this year. But you know, Danny's had a great side over the last 3 years, and I'm sure in years to come they'll have success.
And of course, another most important thing really is just the fact that these young players, you know, they're taking a claim for senior positions.
And that's the whole point of 23 in development football, is to find your way into the senior side and get the glory of winning the big one.
Well, let's now join, shall we, the celebrations then for the trophy presentation. So the presentation's just being made there now to the Army as they receive the Neil Hope Trophy.
We now come on then to the presentation of the winners' medals of the Inter-Services Championship 2025. Major General John Swift will make the presentation to the winners' medals to the Army.
Yeah, presentations have been made to the Army players now to win their medals. Proud moments these, Stu, for any player, you know, who's won an inter-services title.
Absolutely, you want to win every single game and trophy that you can possibly fight for, and to win it for your service, wearing the badge of the service that you joined, is exceptional.
It certainly is, and these medals will mean an awful lot to all the players throughout the rest of their military football career, whatever they go on to achieve, whether it be at senior level or maybe UCAF level in the Kentish Cup, in the matches that they play, in the most senior level of military football that you can have. We're just going to just see the presentation then for the Inter-Services title. Lovely silver trophy, which I saw being very lovingly cleaned earlier on by Steve Clout to put it in the best possible condition for today. Just moving forward though with those players, it's always difficult for the team that's lost as well, for the RAF. They're being very good standing around and watching. They'd much rather just get their way into the dressing room, wouldn't you?
I think they would. I think as soon as that trophy is given to the skipper of the Army, they'll be on their way to the changing room to have a beer and a chat about the way forward.
Indeed. But again, you know, quite a few of those players will have staked their claims for the senior team and the Senior Inter-Services Championship. Obviously, both the men's and the women's will be getting underway next month. And we will have live coverage of all of those, of course, here on our Forces News YouTube channel. So as the VIPs just make their way back.
And now the presentation of the Inter-Services Trophy to the 2025 champions, the Army!
There we go.
Has he got a good celebration? That's the one.
I'm sure he has. Luke Thompson lifts that trophy. And that is a celebration.
Well done to the Army. Good stuff, good stuff.
And I'd say that's a bit of pent-up emotion, wouldn't you? It's been quite a few years since a team in red shirts has been able to do that. So they are lifting that trophy. They are very, very happy indeed. We're obviously delighted for them, but congratulations to the RAF as well, who've made a real game of this today, and indeed to the Royal Navy as well. It could have been a fourth successive title for you, Stu, and with just a few minutes to go, that's the way it looked as if it was going to be.
It was, and Femi pops up again.
But that is it. It's the Army's trophy. That is it for the Inter-Services Under-23 Championship for 2025. From me, John Knighton, thanks indeed, Stu Morgan, for joining us today and making our commentary here this afternoon. But from me and all the team here this afternoon, and from all the rest of our team at BFBS, don't forget we've got loads more live sport coming your way over the next few weeks. But from all of us here, it's a very good afternoon.